All right, good morning everyone. My name is Mr. John and I'm the science educator here at Children's Museum Houston. And welcome to a Good Vibe show where today we're going to do a little bit of chemistry, an experiment we've done a couple times here, and then another one I've talked about, which is a little volcano eruption. So raise your hand if you've ever made a volcano before. You guys done that? Good. So we've got some experts in the back. But before we do that, we're going to do a little rocket explosion. We're going to try and send this little rocket as high into the sky as possible. And it's a very similar reaction if you have done the volcano experiment. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some sodium bicarbonate, which is a very strong base, also known as baking soda, if you've ever heard of that. And then we're going to use a strong acid. So that's the main thing we're going to change today. We're going to use citric acid first, and then we're going to use vinegar. Have you guys heard of vinegar before? Okay, good. So that's the classic that we've used. But the citric acid is nice because we can add all of our components before we launch our rocket. So we'll do one of these in the beginning, we'll make a volcano, and then if you really want to, we can do another rocket reaction at the end. So I'm going to do a scoop of our acid and a scoop of our base. We'll kind of shake it around a little bit to mix it up. And then what we'll do to start a reaction is we're going to add some water. Now this launches really quickly, so we're going to be able to see it a little better when we do our volcano. We can explain actually why this launched into the sky. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to add the water, put the cap down and flip it over and then move back. I have to move really quickly. All right, so in 3, 2, 1. Whoa! So that happened really quickly. Now, can we have the camera actually come up and see all this little bubbling? I don't know if the camera will tilt down. But all this little bubbling, you're going to see that again? Those bubbles? Does anyone know what that gas is? Anyone have a guess? It's not oxygen. It's not nitrogen. We actually breathe it out when we exhale. Carbon dioxide. Very good. It was hard to see because it happened so quickly, but this reaction between a strong acid and strong base is creating a lot of carbon dioxide, and that's what gave us our lift to launch it into the sky. So I'm going to scoot this stuff over because we're going to do a similar experiment. And it's the classic volcano eruption where you use baking soda and vinegar. So we're getting real messy today. So in this tube, I've added a little bit of food coloring already. So I'm going to add about 200 milliliters of water. And this isn't some secret recipe. I just found it right on the internet if you guys want to follow along at home. But the food coloring is a good addition because it actually will make it look a little bit like lava. So we've got our water in one graduated cylinder, and then we're going to add some vinegar in the other. So we're going to do about double the amount of vinegar that we have here in the water. So let's go ahead and add that here. So this is going to be our volcanic chamber. This is where the eruption is actually going to take place. So we'll add this. And then we're going to add a little bit of soap. This will give a little more of a fizz, a pop. It'll be bubbling a little more. So add a little bit of dish soap. And then we're going to add our water. So nothing's going to happen yet because we haven't added our base. So there's no reaction happening. So contrary to what happened here, this happened really quickly because once I added the water, that was the limiting thing in our reaction. In this case, it's the baking soda. So we'll go ahead and add our lava water. Okay, so now we're ready for our final step, is our baking soda. So as soon as I add this, what gas do you think is going to form? Carbon dioxide, very good. So that's why we talked about the first one. So now you know what's happening every time you make a volcano. Okay, we're going to add a scoop, and then I'll probably add another one just to get it going a little more. All right, so 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so as this is bubbling out, the baking soda is reacting with the vinegar, water, soap mixture. So all this little bubbly soap, this will keep running as the baking soda is getting mixed in with the vinegar. Does anyone have any questions about what's happening here? Because this is pretty easy to do at home. just vinegar and baking soda. You're not even having to use some citric acid. Now that you guys know all the carbon dioxide that's being formed here, do you guys want to do one more rocket reaction? No? Just one more. I got one head nod. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to scoot this over. I might add a little more. Let's see if we can keep this bubbling. Be a good backdrop for a rocket. Let's see if it can go through. I've never actually tried to. Okay, there we go. It's still going. Let's add a little more. Okay, good. That's a great backdrop for our rocket. So let's add our ingredients again. We're going to add some citric acid. We're going to add some baking soda again. And then all we got to do is add our water. And this time, hopefully, we're so close to hitting the ceiling. I've only done it one other time, so this is another attempt at a world record. All right, are you guys ready? In 3, 2, 1. Oh, a little shorter, but we still made it fly. Now, if you guys have any questions, I'll be hanging out up front, cleaning up my volcanic and rocket mess that I've made. If you have any questions about these reactions, please feel free to come up. But thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you guys have a fun day. See ya.